Yo, what up, people? It's your buddy Philko here, reporting live from your mama's house. Doing my thing as I usually do. Making a video for you guys today about me swearing off black women. What do I mean by swearing off black women? I mean, I will not look for. I never did actually. But let's say if I go on a social networking site, some kind of dating site actually, and I get to select the race of woman I'd prefer, I'm picking everything except black. Everything except for it. And I will go for Asian, I go for Indian, I go for all the other races that have skin color. It's not the skin color. But I will go for anything but black. And I'm going to tell you what prompted this idea to pop in my head. You know, I have another channel in which I talk about big butt women. Black women, white women, all of them, right? And one of the girls I made a video about, I was checking out her Instagram, and she's from Kenya, Africa. And she sells hair. She sells Asian hair, European hair. And look, I am not knocking this woman's hustle. I'm not knocking this woman's hustle. Trust me. If she wanted me to go into business with her, I would go into business with her today. I am not knocking her hustle. Get it right. But as I looked at all these different types of hair she had, and I saw black women buying all this different type of hair, the first thing that popped in my head is, what is wrong with them? Or what do they think is so wrong with them that they have to wear the hair of a different type of woman in order to feel better about themselves? Because it's funny, because to me, the people who buy fake woman hair the most, I would think, are like transsexuals or gay men, you know, who want to look more like a woman. Why the first thing a lot of these black women do in order to look better is look more like a non-black feminine woman in their eyes? Why is that? And this is even in Africa. I thought it was just an African American thing, but that is not the case. Why is the first thing they want to do is buy hair? That's strange. If you're a guy and you want to pretend to be a girl on stage, the first thing you're going to need is some fake hair. The first thing, let's say you're an actor, you want to pretend to be, you don't have to wear a dress. You don't have to do any of that. If you go out there with fake hair, long fake hair, especially hair that obviously doesn't belong to you, everyone's going to understand you're being a girl. There's no question. You understand? You don't need the dress. You don't need any of that. You just need the fake hair. And of course, change your voice a little and act silly. But that hair is the number one. If you go out there with a dress on, but you got a fucking flat top, then I'm like, what the hell is that? You know, it's not exactly the same. That's strange. They're going to know you're playing a woman, but it's strange that way. When you wear the hair, that shows you're trying to symbolize a woman. So maybe subconsciously, when I see a black woman wearing fake hair, it makes me look at her and think she's trying to play a woman. And it's like, what kind of woman plays a woman? What kind of woman plays a woman? Now, of course, a lot of black women will say things like, white girls wear fake hair too, Asians wear fake hair too. Let me tell you something. White women and Asian women do wear fake hair at times, but everyone wears fake hair. The problem isn't who doesn't, it's how often they do it. That's how things work. Labradors attack people sometimes. Pit bulls attack people more often. Which dog would you consider more dangerous, a Labrador or a fucking pit bull? Everyone knows the answer to that. Yes, both dog breeds attack people at random sometimes, but pit bulls are way more likely to do it, and we can even explain it because of the way they were made by humans. They were evolved by humans. There's human-controlled evolution. They're made to fight. Pit bulls. Okay, so yes, both dog breeds attack people, but if you had to get a dog and you have children and you're going to get this dog as an adult and you wanted to give your children the highest odds of being safe, if you're stupid enough to tell yourself, well, both breeds attack dogs so it doesn't matter, you're an idiot. Thinking that way is I notice a lot of black people think that way, and it's pretty sad, and I'm going to tell you why, because a lot of people around the world don't really like black people too much, and one reason is because they think we're not intelligent. And when you say things like, everyone does this or everyone does that, it shows you don't have the capability or the intellect to think in a scientific way at all. Because when you say things like everyone does this, it doesn't solve anything. It solves nothing. And many black women have that mentality. Many black women have that mentality. White people do it, black people do it, Asian people do it. And you cannot be scientific for a second. You can't even try to look up the statistics or figure out the statistics with your own eyes, make estimates and all that stuff, ballpark figures. You can't do it. A lot of them just think, oh, this and that. You understand? So that's one. They have, and you know what's funny? I'm not saying black women aren't intelligent, because you know what? To be honest, I think black women on average are way more intelligent than black men. I really, really think so. I was watching a show last night with this girl called Brain Games, and they were testing the brains between the men and the women. And men, our brains are different. Like women can see colors better, like red and orange. They can see different shades of it. Men can think better, like putting things in spaces and stuff. Women have better memories with faces and stuff and all this stuff. But for some reason, whenever they had like the white couples, the women usually won with the things that men are supposed to be better in. The black men never won. There's even an interracial couple with a black woman and a white man, and she won all the games. You can check it out. It's called Brain Games on Netflix. It was men versus women. You know, you could go check it out. The black women always won. They always even beat the white guys. They always won. Black women are extremely intelligent. Now, why am I saying this? Because I really feel a lot of black women are so intelligent, but because of that intelligence, they realize their so-called inferiority to the looks of other women, which makes them emotional and very bitter. And I'll tell you why. I watch stand-up comedy a lot, guys. I watch it a lot. You know, Mike Epps, Ari Spears. I watch a lot of stand-up comedy. And many times when these comedians speak about, oh, there's a lot of you black dudes out here with white girls, Kobe ain't taught y'all nothing, black girls will clap and be like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. They should learn their lesson. But soon as someone says, oh, there goes a white guy with a black girl, they stand up, cheer, and like, yeah, you go, girl. They would praise the black woman with the white man, but they frown upon the black man with the white girl. So it's typical for black women to behave like children. That's very childish. But let's keep moving. So of course, I'm just establishing not all, but too many. Now, people talk about the attitudes. You know what's funny? I don't care too much about the attitude. You know, I don't have much experience with black women having attitudes. It's just a mentality. You can say the most ignorant shit in the most calm way and I still won't like you. You understand? You could come to me wearing fake blue contacts and you have brown skin and I'm just out of there. You know, you could do, it's not about the attitude really, because I can deal with attitude because I'm a man and I feel any woman I'm with, I can control her. So I'm not worried about that attitude shit like most guys. Oh, they have attitude. Look, if you can't control your woman, leave your woman, because that's not your woman. I guess I've been in Russia too long, and I have a firm belief is if you have a woman, you should be able to control her. And I don't mean control as in do everything I tell you, but you should be able to keep her calm at all times. Maybe if she's crying, she's sad, she could rest on your shoulder. If she's angry, you be like, baby, calm down, I'll take care of it. All that stuff. When she's yelling and screaming, if you tell her, baby, please be quiet, let me handle it. If she doesn't be quiet for you, to me, that's not your woman. That's not your woman. If she doesn't respect you enough to obey your commands in dangerous situations, you know, that's not your woman. You understand? Especially if you're the one bringing all the money home. That's not your woman. But maybe I'm old-fashioned, but every girl I date or have dated, whenever there's a situation, I always control it. There's no one, well, they're usually white girls, but that's what a lot of us like about them. It's not about using them. It's not about taking advantage of them. It's about them acting like females, making us feel like men. They make us feel good. You understand? They make us feel really good. A lot of white girls, and I admit now, there's a good amount of white girls who can be fooled compared to a black woman, but I'd rather have that than a woman who thinks she's a man, than a woman who want to tell me what to do, a woman who be quick to say, I don't need no man. That is so fucking embarrassing, especially when this woman has kids. That is so embarrassing, especially when a woman has kids, man. But anyway, let's get back to the physical nature of this whole thing. So I'm jumping all over the place on why I'm swearing off black women, but I'm jumping everywhere. Now, My biggest problem with black women is just the disrespect for white women. That's really my number one problem. That, well, maybe besides the fake hair, number one or number two is the blatant disrespect a lot of black women have for white women for no reason. I grew up in a black family. Of course, I'm a black person myself, although I live in Russia now. Everyone I grew up with till I was like 13 was black. Everybody around me was black till I was 13. And I would constantly hear bad things said about white girls and white women all the time for no good fucking reason. Now, you may say things like, oh, white girls say bad things about black women too. Well, are they your role models? You do what they do, or when they do something that means it's good enough for you? If you honestly say things like, well, white people do it, that means white people are above you and they're your mentors. So you can't have your own culture or your own way of life unless white people do it. They shouldn't have an effect on what you do or say. You should do it or say it because you think it's the right thing to do, not because white people may do it or white people don't do it. Aren't you supposed to do you? Aren't you supposed to be a queen? All those black women who say things like white girls do it too, it's ridiculous. You understand? And back to the hair, yeah. I hate when black women, and yes, other women wear fake hair too, but they never, ever, ever try to make it look more, well, let me not say never. They typically don't try to look more Africanized. They don't try to get black type hair. But I will give, there's some white girls out there with dreads, which is Afrocentric. But like I told you, it's not just about, oh, they do it too, it's about how often. And it's way more common that black women wear Europeanish or Asianish hair than white or Asian women get Afrocentric dreads. It's way more common one way to the other. If we're buying 90% of their product and we're buying 10%, we're buying 90% of their product and they're only, let's say, buying 10% of our product, and we're busy telling ourselves, oh, we're both buying from each other, it's okay. No, it's not okay. We're giving them more wealth than they're giving us. Actually, we're getting them wealthy. They're just taking from us. And not taking, but they're benefiting from us. We're not really benefiting from them. You understand? They're getting so much from us, and plus their stuff is worth more because we want it more. $1 billion business. So when you say they do it too, it means nothing for many, many reasons. So I'm swearing off black women just because whenever I look into the eyes of the black woman, even a good one, I treat her with respect. Of course I do. I treat every woman with respect regardless of the race. But when it comes to me wanting to get close and maybe a personal relationship, when I look into her eyes, I remember all the times I've seen other black women go crazy, talk crap about white women for no reason, wear fake hair, blue contacts, nose jobs, all these non-Afrocentric things they do to resemble a non-black woman. I noticed that when I look into this black woman's eyes. Now, let's say this black woman is Afrocentric, and she is calm, and she does follow commands and stuff like that. Well, yeah, I can see that. But you know, the problem is, like I said, when I look in her eyes, I see the other black woman, but not only that, even those black women, at some point, 95% of the time, will give some hint that she's very similar to the other women for no reason. So maybe I could be sitting with my beautiful Afrocentric black woman. We could be hanging out. Maybe we're having a little bit of drinks. She sees a black man with a white girl, and then maybe she'll say something like, I guess, he doesn't like his mother too much. Or, well, I guess that's the only type of woman he could have found. Or, some kind of just slightly negative comment. That is an extreme turnoff to me. Extreme. Because to me, it's like in so many ways, black women admit inferiority to white girls with these comments and things they do. And not just white girls, Asian women as well. Now, of course, one thing I got to give props to black women. I said they're intelligent. I believe they're very intelligent. And I also believe black women are very proud of their figures. And I like that. When big butts weren't popular, black women liked them, regardless of what the media and white culture thought. They still like their butts, and I give them a shout out. So I give them a shout out on their intelligence and the fact that they like their asses or whatever. But white girls are getting them too. Asian girls not really, but white girls have them now too. White girls have them now too. So now what are you gonna do? The most famous twerkers in the world are white. And they live in the city I live in out here in Russia. And they don't have much of ass at all. but their asses are way more famous than black women's asses. So now what are they gonna do? Now what are they gonna do with the, we got ass, they don't? It doesn't matter that much anymore. Even a girl with no ass can twerk. And that grabs niggas' attention like nobody's business. And we know that. I'm going to include an article in the description, and it tells about how black women are finding themselves to be more single because of interracial marriage. And for all this stuff, I can't even blame black women too much, because a lot of it's also because of how we treat them and how we allow them to behave when they're our daughters or our wives. We allow them to wear this fake hair, and we allow them to try to resemble a white woman to show that standard of beauty. We support these fake, non-Afrocentric at all black women like Nicki Minaj or whoever the hell on TV with the fake blonde wavy hair Beyonce that obviously don't belong to you, but you're basically saying this is what beauty is. You don't have it naturally, but these girls are beautiful because they have it naturally, white girls. That's what you're saying when you do those non-Afrocentric things. That's really what you're saying. When you're changing the way you look and it's resembling someone else, it's like, like transsexuals would do. Get the fake hair, change your nose, well, you don't have to change your nose, transsexual, but you get the fake hair and all that stuff. That's the first thing, the fake hair. So this is just a part one of this. I'm going to get to a part two later. This is just part one. But I'm just telling you why I'm swearing them off. And I see a lot of other black men out there are swearing them off too. Now, let me reiterate one more time before I get out of here. I have no hatred towards black women. I respect black women 100%. You understand? I'm willing to do more for black women than any other type of woman out there. But when it comes to my sexual personal life, I'm keeping them at a far, far distance. Far, far, far distance. And don't get me started on the statistics on STDs in America with herpes in black women. I might get on that in a different video, but I'm just saying, I respect black women very much. I really do. But we have problems, and I don't think they're going to be solved with the women in our communities. This is not going to be solved. That's why so many brothers are willing to travel to meet women. They're willing to spend thousands of dollars to travel to meet women. So many. It's crazy. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys don't kill me. And I am out. Later.